Hello, this is Starshot here to welcome you back to my Let's Play of Ys Origin. We last left off going up against Zava after losing to her once and beating her the second time soundly, and after witnessing the tragic death of our friend Roy, we continued on and found our way here to the final area of the boss on the 25th floor of the tower. Apparently there's still one more floor, so I don't know if there's another boss after that or something more. But before we go, let's see, one of the things I want to do is to go ahead and level this up so that now it's at max like everything else. Because if we have everything else here maxed and filled in, why not the leggings too? And then we pretty much have everything in inventory, so there's not much more for us to get. Like, I don't think there's any more Panacea to find. And I do believe we found all the Rota fruit that we should have found as well. So, I thought maybe I'll just grind a little, maybe get some XP and maybe in one more level, since it looks like I'm currently at 48. So it might be good if I could at least hit level 50 at the most before I try to take on the final boss. You know, you can decide if that's what you want to do, or if you want to just simply play to get to level 48 like I have. So that might work too, but I kind of want to just round things off a bit here. And let's see, I guess the upgrade we got was just +1, of course, but every little point counts in this game, because like the biggest number we have here is 36, and so every little bit will help out in the long run. So before we go ahead and enter through the door, we can fight a few more enemies back here in the area previous, and see if we can get a level or two. But of course, depending on, like, if I see that I'm not really making much progress, then there's no reason to continue, but I still seem to be taking quite a bit of damage from these guys here, who I'm almost dead here for. Yep, just like that. But thankfully we don't have to go too far from where we were to, you know, find our way back. But yeah, those knights are definitely gonna be trouble. And let me go ahead and... apparently I didn't get my blessing, or my blessing wasn't saved, so let me go ahead and just get that done. But yeah, so it looks like the knights are still kind of a threat, so we should be able to get some decent XP off of them, hopefully. Especially when you face two of them and how they keep, you know, putting up this shield here. I usually remember these guys doing two moves, like one there and then, yeah, like that. So I guess I just had to do a little bit more damage to them before they start jumping around like that. Which isn't too hard to figure out. But yeah, I don't think I've ever reached the max level for any of the characters, so I don't know if there is a level cap, or if it does go up to 99 before it stops. But usually after a certain point, the enemies don't give you as much XP as they should, or as they would. But then it looks like I still need to work on my bonus here. And don't forget my burst here. Yeah, that worked out pretty well, actually. Come on, stop drawing me in. That's the only problem with some of these enemies here, is just how annoying some of their effects can be. More annoying than status effects is that they pull you in and try to move you around, or make everything slippery. So it looks like I'm not making too much XP right now from some of these enemies. Is there any? Okay, let me go ahead and heal up here before I get killed by some of these enemies. There we go. So definitely still not that easy, but you know, that's kind of what the challenge we got when we decided to go for hard mode. Overall, I do enjoy the game. You know, it's the reason why I'm still playing it. You know, or why I would play it again after so many, after the last time. I forget when I last played it actually. I know it's been a while. Usually I don't play most games. I've played through once at least for a year, maybe two. Just because that game is still so fresh in my mind that playing it wouldn't be as enjoyable, or I know too much about it and played too much of it already. There we go. But yeah, you know, because there are very few games I return to. I usually prefer trying to play a new game, but there are some games I still play to this day or continue playing for one reason or another. Like I recently, funny enough, I've been getting back into Dota 2. You know, I really did enjoy that game when it was just Dota, as in the World of Warcraft 3 mod. All that. Still hard to believe it's continued as long as it has to this day, and it has such a big enough following that it has these major tournaments. Okay, it looks like that seems to be all the enemies around here. So let me go ahead and maybe do a quick heal, and I think it should do a save here as well. So we'll see. Or hopefully not, because if, you know, I just need to, I could test it out by dying, but yeah, so I could at least get one level, I think. That's kind of how some of the enemies are and how things are going. Actually, I wonder if this crystal will help at all in trying to keep me from the status effects. That's the only problem with these night enemies here, is you kind of have to wait them out a little to get behind them. Since to the whole, they can bring up their shield and just do that. Of course, there could be a better method for fighting them. I guess I could try and testing it out with some of the other magic we have here. Oh yeah, the fire doesn't really do much to those enemies. I guess I was mostly wanted to test it on these guys, which that didn't do much either. But yeah, I've been getting into Dota 2 lately, and I've played it plenty just because a lot of the games are very different, and they do provide a unique challenge that you won't find in too many other game types. And I guess, you know, and Dota does do a lot to try and provide people with a place to play and new stuff, even if the community can be a bit toxic sometimes. It seems to be getting better from what I've seen lately. And that there also are releasing new heroes. So, you know, think of all the years that, you know, Dota had these pool of heroes, and now they're finally, you know, adding new ones. And I'll be curious to how many they'll think to consider releasing before they think enough's enough. Or when they decide to just release Dota 3. If they can ever count to 3. What? Come on. Always really annoying. I'm trying to make sure I collect all this SP because now I actually have enough to get the upgrade. For, you know, her now if I really want. Let's see. But as I said, I'll just save it for the next hero or next campaign I play through with Hugo. I think he might be a good one to have it for since he's more of a long range, so you would have to try and keep enemies away from you a lot more. Well, technically increasing your movement speed with any character would probably be very beneficial for various reasons. Either if you need to get away or you want to get through an area quicker. Whatever you need. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and at least get to level 48 or 49 here. And do that at least. Because we're pretty close, but it does feel like it's a bit too grindy. And like I try to find that just the right balance of grinding for levels and fighting certain enemies. Like if I really do need to get another level because the boss is too difficult or challenging sometimes, is something I will consider, but the balance for Yi's origin here is still pretty good, so come on. There we go. So I don't feel like I'll need to at least. But yeah, but also plenty of other games, even if I still go back to like Dota or Secret or Mana or any of the other old games like Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past or Majora's Mask. Or one of the Final Fantasies, or Legend of Dragoon. Like, I have so many games I could see going back to for one reason or another. But I guess I would prefer doing it with someone else, though, to play along with as well. Like, because I do enjoy the conversation one can have when you play a game. With someone else to experience it as well, or as if they've experienced too. Oh wow, the wind magic there was really powerful for that actually, so... too bad it doesn't work the same against the metal knights, but that's probably to be expected when you think about it because of what they are. Oh, so I did get my level. I completely missed it. So, and it looks like we've got a decent chunk of XP just from our continuous battles here. Yeah, I'm still trying to get my hit max to stay up here. But oh well, looks like I've lost it now. Okay, so I should probably keep to these claw boots here if I want to deal with the sticky ground that those kind of enemies keep giving me to deal with. Oh well, I think with how far I've come along here, I might actually just make this a grinding episode where I just talk and grind a little bit to get to level 50. I hope you guys don't mind. You know, let me know in the comments if you'd rather see me take on bosses and die just so many times. But, you know, this just means that I have more time to talk and focus on the conversation than just simply than just simply speaking or trying to focus on finishing off the boss. Because, I know, like, cause you really are trying to focus. It can be hard to multitask and talk at the same time as playing the game. Come on. It's been a while since I've dealt with a heavy thing, but... And I find these, knights really annoying just because of that shield. There we go. And there goes my hit down again. I think that's really the best way you can kind of level up, is trying to keep your hit bonus as high as possible. But it can be hard to do that when you're dealing with these knights who don't really take damage, like most enemies. But let's see. Yeah, I guess. But like, as you can see, they're pretty much one of the harder enemies in the game just because of that shield. But that just means they give you that much more XP, right? And of course, I'm trying to make sure I get the buff items here. That's my defense or my strength. Come on. Yeah, for the most part, I just have to keep waiting for them to open up their attack to me after they release their attack. But yeah, like, these enemies would really benefit from having the resist or the... come on. I need to keep trying to hit things. Or I'm gonna lose my... Oh, there we go. It's back up again, thankfully. Oh, darn it. Okay, so I guess I could try to avoid the spike tendrils a bit more. Come on. Yeah, I'm trying and keep my buff, my XP buff up here, just to try and use it a bit more to actually get these enemies, or these knights, and the XP they give as max as possible. Here we go. But yeah, so let me know what your thoughts are on playing old games again. Because, like, is there a favorite game that you would always go back to no matter what? Or are you the type of guy who, would prefer to just keep moving forward and playing new games to experience new stuff? Because I think the most number of hours I've ever put into a game would be Dota right now. Since it is, or either Dota 2 or Hearthstone are my probably most played games. Because I'm sure I have over 1,000 hours in each one. Because I've just been able to play that game so often that I haven't gotten tired of it. And let's see, I guess continuing on though. Yeah, sadly, we've at least made some progress, but it does take quite a few trips back and forth to gain the XP needed to get to level 50 by the look of it, at least from these monsters. I'm not quite sure if there are better enemies to take on than what I've been dealing with here. And of course, all the different status effects doesn't help either. And, being knocked down too doesn't help. But I would hope, I would also be able to get enough drops from the enemies to keep healing up, and that I wouldn't have to take time to run away and... crap. Yeah, I'm definitely way too low for my taste. So I'll just go ahead and run back here and just heal up, because I've made some decent progress, and I would really hate it if I lost it. But yeah, like, there aren't too many games I would actually go ahead and do stuff like this with the grinding. You know, like, Bravely Default was probably the game I really enjoyed, even to the point where I did grind it completely. To get to, you know, max levels, all the legendary equipment I could find, and did all the different side quests in it. And, like, it definitely helped that they, you know, had the double speed for the, you know, turn-based battles. But yeah, like, I enjoyed the combat enough, and that I felt like I was gaining enough experience to actually do that. But, like, I think for most games, there are most games you wouldn't really be able to do that. Like, as you can see here, all the trouble I have facing this room of enemies, and trying to gain XP from them. And that, you know, you get to a point when you gain such minuscule XP that there's no way the developers ever intended for you to get to max level with it. So I sort of feel like that's sort of the balance you have to find. Like, at least getting to level 50, I think, is alright. You know, but, like, I couldn't imagine trying to work my way to level 99 or something. Like, I remember doing that with Kingdom Hearts, but even that one took a really long time to get to that point. I remember pretty much just running through the underworld, pretty much trying to get those levels for the most part. So, definitely something I wouldn't recommend doing unless you really love the game and want to actually get to that point. You know, and, like, I don't think my love for the game would keep me from trying to get to level 99. I think it's just the game itself would do it. Because you really do have to kind of find a balance between getting to that point and if it's really worth it, or if you feel like you can do it in a reasonable amount of time. Like, I think I would imagine trying to get to level 99 in this game with Unica here, going through this area would take like almost 5 hours of just consistent grinding. And I don't really feel like that's something I would enjoy much. You know, of grinding for the next 5 hours. Facing these enemies over and over and over again. Like, I just definitely don't see myself trying to get to that point. But, like, I could see spending, you know, 20, maybe 30 minutes, an hour at the most, grinding sometimes. You know, as long as I still enjoyed the game enough, and I felt like trying to level up to that point was worth it. But, you know, that's just me, of course. You know, I understand that I'm sure there are plenty of people who probably would just skip over this episode of me grinding through this area here. But if you enjoy my commentary, and that's the reason why you're here in the first place, then there's plenty to enjoy while I try to grind my way through this. You know, and of course, if I ever do try to grind something out more that would take way too long to do, then I would probably just do it off camera. But I think just going through this little part here would kind of be alright, and that this would just be the length of a usual episode. yeah, I'm kind of getting a bit swarmed here, but only because those guys are kind of annoying for that. Great. I'm getting way too low here. I'm taking way too many status effects too. Yeah, definitely way too low. I'm running. Man, getting so close. And it definitely gets, like, it looks like the curse does, like, maybe increase the damage you get. So that might be what it does. But I think I should be able to gain the last level here in the next 5 minutes or so. And then of course I'll wrap things up and then head on over to the boss for the next episode and just see kind of how that goes. I'm still not quite sure if I can actually replicate that special attack I do, where I actually reduce their damage or reduce their defense, or if that's just a random event thing. I'd be curious to find out if that was the case. Because it would really change up how you fight some of these enemies if you could keep doing that move over and over again. At least for like this guy and how tanky he is. But yes, definitely something I wouldn't do too often, but you know, grinding is grinding. There's no escape from it, as long as it's a mechanic in the game that you can do and take advantage of course. I'm not quite sure how the enemies decide here too, how long they should use their shield for before they finally give up. Here we go. And I guess I'll make sure to make use of this before it runs out. But yeah, so yeah, I guess I kind of for the most part, I'll of course continue playing through all the campaigns, trying to complete them as much as possible. You know, as I said, I kind of limit to just how far I'll go in completing a game, because I sort of feel like as much as I look to the completionist for some of the stuff he's done and been able to complete, I do find it reaches a point of masochism to try to go that far, and sadly that's what some people watch him for. And that doesn't make you a bad person, of course. It just it's kind of like it is, I guess, the curiosity of learning just kind of if there's really anything to completing it or not, because that's always a question some people would have, like how much is this game worth completing for, or how much is it to just simply beat it. But as you can see, it looks like I'm almost just there. There's just that little bit of block of XP left. So let me go ahead and do a quick little revive save here. It would probably be a lot faster if I didn't go all the way back here, but I want to make sure I have full heal and that, you know, I'm not sure if this does save, like it does the mini checkpoint save or not. And I don't want to test that theory out with how much I've spent here. But let's go ahead and get this last block of XP here. And that should be all I'll need to take on the final boss of this area. And it is handy that you can switch between the elements pretty easily. That I feel like I've gotten the hang of it. Of course, for the most part, if you ever wanted to speedrun this game, I'm sure these knights would be your worst nightmare to deal with. because of how much waiting you have to do. Unless they do figure out a strategy to take care of them a lot easier than the way I've been doing it. But thankfully I've also gained a lot of SP too. So I should be able to almost fully upgrade my Hugo's campaign for the next run right away, actually. Of course, you can always save it for Toll's campaign as well, but I would be curious how much of a difference it would make having all those blessings right away compared to not having them for this run. Okay, I feel like I'm almost there now. Yeah, I'm almost there, even if I am a bit low here. I should be able to take care of most of these enemies and get that level. I'm just gonna probably ignore the knights, since they're a lot harder to deal with and I don't think they give out as much. Oh, there we go, finally. So we finally got to level 50. So let me just take care of these last few enemies here. Get their SP. There we go. So that's pretty much it for this this grinding session here. We got our 2 levels, which should make us fairly good to defeat against the final boss here. So always remember to save when you get the chance. You wouldn't want to lose any good progress you've made. And until next time, have fun gaming.